to Angela, but I call her Yee. Way up.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and my brother Mano is here.
Live in the snowstorm.
I'm so glad you're here today because we have a special guest joining us. We have Amy Morin, author of 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. And I feel like you need this book.
I'm probably been inspired. I'm the inspiration behind that book.
Yeah, Mentally Strong Couples. I have some quizzes in here I want to give you.
That book is about me.
All right, so it is. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it today because tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
It's the day of love.
And so I know there's some people listening right now that haven't made a plan, that waited till the last minute to try to figure it out. Do we stay in? Do we go out? A lot more people are staying in because Valentine's Day is a hectic day to get reservations.
Stay in.
You said stay in?
Stay in.
Okay. All right, good advice. And we'll talk about that because what would you do when you stay in, right, for Valentine's Day? What are some options? But in the meantime, let's shine a light. 800-292-5150. Maybe you want to shine a light on somebody you love, your significant other, somebody who's done something special for you, somebody who makes you feel special. Well, tell us why. 800-292-5150. And for Valentine's Day, let's set it off with some Mario. Let Me Love You. It's Way Up.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Mano's in the building.
Yeah.
We already had some Valentine's Day shots. Now let's talk about Shine a Light. And today we want to shine a light on a young black lady, Ashley Lamoth Derby. At 15 years old, she worked at Chick-fil-A, and at the age of 26, she was the youngest franchise owner in Chick-fil-A history. Congratulations to her. Now, she first opened her first location at University of Southern California. And, you know, in some places, Chick-fil-A was not a household name, so she did still have to market and promote, get people to get excited to come there. And then eventually, her location did so well, she was chosen to do something that Chick-fil-A doesn't do very often with franchisers. She got another location in downtown LA.
Wow.
So we want to shine a light on you. That is amazing. We know it's not easy because at Chick-fil-A, you got to work there. You got to do all these things before you're able to get a location. And they are super, super strict about who they give that opportunity to. So shout out to Ashley Lamoth Derby. Now, who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Niche, who you want to shine a light on?
Hey, Angela and Mano.
Good morning.
Special shout out to my daughter, Nehemiah Boston. She's 8. Just turned 8 yesterday. And she's been doing awesome in school, making all A's and B's all year. I just want to give a shout out.
Nehemiah, you are so amazing. Imagine that, making all A's and B's.
All A's.
Yes, thank y'all so much. That means so much to her. Smiling hard right now.
Okay, well, Nehemiah, we're shining a light on you. Continue to make your mom proud. I just think about how difficult I was as a child, so I love the fact that
I didn't get all A's and B's.
We know.
You know? My mama was still proud.
What does she want to be when she grows up? Does she know yet?
Yes, she says she wants to be a teacher or she wants to, so we're working on it.
All right.
Shout out to
I
her.
love it. Teaching the students. Okay, well, thank you so much for calling, Niche. Happy birthday, Nehemiah.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150, just in case you couldn't get through. And when we come back, we have your Yeetie. And let's talk about Killer Mike on The View and what he had to say about being arrested while at the Grammys. Well, at least being in handcuffs. We'll talk about it. It's Way Up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Come and get the tea.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee on a snow day with Mano.
Yeah.
And let's get into some Yeet tea. Killer Mike was on The View yesterday, and he talked about his recent arrest at the Grammys earlier in the month. And here's what he had to say.
I think the backstage was overcrowded. I think the winners were exuberant. And I think security got a little overzealous. It's water under the bridge for me. Yeah. I'd like to say all of my heroes have been in handcuffs. Malcolm, Martin, Mandela, Medgar. I walked out with the same dignity and respect that I walked in with.
And he did say he's scheduled to appear in court in L.A. February 29th. So he was booked on a misdemeanor charge following an alleged altercation with a security guard.
So what?
Yeah.
So he won the award and then they got into an altercation with him?
Yeah, he did say security got a little overzealous and backstage was overcrowded. And so that's part of it. But he did get some good news after that. You know, he found out that a kidney had been found for his 21-year-old son who was awaiting a transplant for 3 years. So that's a positive thing. Plus, he won
super positive.
3 Grammys. All right.
Absolutely. Now,
SZA, she's talking about her new album, Lana. She was discussing with the Hollywood Reporter. She said, you got to let it form itself. I'm not really into forming anything. I'm just kind of here while energy is forming. I'm just trying to allow it to do what it needs to do. And my voice just follows whatever the frequency is. But she did not comment on the status of Lana. She said, you know, this round I actually don't want to say anything just because I feel like I do myself a disservice because you can shift the energy of the album. She also talked about whether she thought she was snubbed and should have won Album of the Year at the Grammys. And she said, I don't actually. I'm grateful I won 3. I could have left with nothing and I didn't. And I'm grateful my parents got to see it and I didn't bomb on live television. And that was so scary. And I faced some really big fears and I'm just happy that it all went well, genuinely. And I'm happy for everybody. So congratulations to SZA. You know, people try to downplay the awards, but if it means something to you and if it means something to your family, then we applaud you for that. Mm-hmm. All right, Super Bowl has set ratings records, 123.4 million viewers in overtime. So shout out to that. It's a record-breaking Super Bowl. They already had blown past viewership records in the weeks leading up to that Super Bowl, and so definitely a huge one. You think it's because of Taylor Swift?
Partially.
Yeah, partially. Did you get annoyed when they kept flashing to her, or were you like, whatever?
I didn't get annoyed. I didn't take it personal.
I know people get...
It was like, whatever.
Yeah, people get so mad about it. And companies paid $7 million to get a 30-second spot during the game, too, by the way. All right, and in addition to that, Usher's Super Bowl halftime show has topped a lot of other Super Bowl halftime shows. They topped Dr. Dre's and Rihanna's viewing figures. So over 30 million households, which corresponds to about 100 million viewers in the United States. They said that was 5% higher than Rihanna's and 1 million more households than Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent that they did in 2022. The Super Bowl was the most watched in history, so it only makes sense that corresponds with those numbers too. Meanwhile, according to Brandon Marshall, Kanye West was kicked out of the Super Bowl stadium by Taylor Swift. You think that's true?
I don't know.
Well, here's what Brandon Marshall said.
Kanye West buys a ticket right in front of Taylor Swift's booth.
Oh.
He had a mask on with his logo on the mask, right? Taylor Swift gets off. Sheet Boom Boom makes a call or two. He gets kicked out the stadium. He was trying to leverage her celebrity to...
Because he knows they're not going to cut to him, so he's like, I'm going to strategically position myself, so every time they cut over here to her...
Yeah, so I don't know how true that is. He said this on the Paper Route podcast because he was seen several times after that, at one point with Ty Dolla $ign and with Anderson .Paak in a luxury suite. So maybe not in those seats, but he didn't leave the stadium.
Did they ever show him in that area where they say that he was sitting at in front of her?
Yeah, I didn't see him in that area, but you know, I don't know. All right. Well, I could see Taylor Swift having the power to do that, though.
Yeah, maybe they moved him from that area.
They were like, can you go?
Not out the stadium.
All right, well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have About Last Night. These are the stories that may not necessarily have been... Oh, sorry. That's a different topic. We had one shot, and I don't know what's going on. About Last Night is us discussing what we did last night. It's way up.
Yeah. Last night.
So, about last night.
Last night.
Here's how it went down.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano is here. New Mano!
Yeah.
About last night. What'd you do last night, Mano?
I didn't do much. I was recuperating from a long week of being in the streets.
You've been very active, and sometimes you need to take that downtime.
Yeah, so I took yesterday down, right? Mm-hmm. So I left from here, and I went home, and I stayed home.
Good for you. I like that. I like that for you.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Now, for me last night, I was actually doing lip service because tomorrow we have Chiclet and Melanie on. And you've seen all their sketches and their YouTube, their podcasts. And of course, Melanie and Chiclet are both on the Impact New York.
Right.
So you get to see them together as a couple. They got engaged last year. So that's going to be our Valentine's Day special that's coming out tomorrow. But there were some great topics on there when it comes to relationships.
Right.
And in particular, Valentine's Day. Now, one thing that all the women in the room, and this is one thing I haven't done, everybody said they've sent a guy flowers before.
Don't even play with me like that.
You don't want flowers?
Nah.
Okay, why not?
That's not for me.
You don't like flowers?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that was sweet if a woman...
No.
All right. Well, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So does that mean you don't expect anything?
No, I expect. Gift me, baby.
Like gift you what? Though?
Yeah,
like what's an appropriate?
A watch. No.
What?
No.
It ain't your birthday. It's not Christmas. It's Valentine's.
A belt.
Okay, a nice belt.
Cologne.
All right, that's fair. A belt, cologne.
Watch was a little too much, right?
Yeah, that was a lot. Right. Unless it's like a inexpensive watch, like maybe an Apple Watch. You can get you an Apple Watch?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, because you're doing you be doing your little fitness thing.
I can use an Apple Watch. Something like that. Don't flower
So
me.
not like flowers, chocolate, teddy bear. Because Gigi said she did do that for somebody before and he loved it and he cried. Now, Just Pam, the comedian, said she sent it to a guy at work and he was like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah, don't even play with me like that.
Yeah, don't play with me like that. I didn't know guys don't like flowers.
Nah, that's usually the other way around. I send you flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you chocolate.
Okay. You wouldn't like you'd like candy.
Yeah, but I don't want chocolate candy for Valentine's Day. Send me some cologne. Send me some Valentino.
Okay. Born in Roma, Valentino. Yeah. We have this right here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to hear what you guys have to say because Valentine's Day is tomorrow. I know there's some last minute people out there. So is that more of a holiday for women though? Like, would you be upset if you didn't get anything?
The way the world is set up, no, I probably wouldn't be upset. But I'll be looking at you. If I got you something, I'm looking at you like.
But that could be something that you got to have a conversation because Valentine's Day to me traditionally does feel like it's for women.
No, it's a two-way street.
Y'all got Sweetest Day, Sweetest Day is
I never heard of that.
The 3rd October.
No, I never heard of that.
And that's for men, Sweetest Day.
No,
so we have
mine
Valentine's
now.
Day. You have Sweetest Day, but we want to know what you guys have to say about this because Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So men, do you have expectations that you're supposed to get a gift? And women, are you doing something for your significant other? Call us up 800-292-5150 is the number. Do you want to watch, guys? All right, it's way up 800-292-5150.
Way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano is here.
New Mano.
Good morning.
I wonder if you're going to get anything for Valentine's Day.
Probably not.
You don't think so? Is that disappointing for you?
Nah.
No? All right,
good.
but you would like to.
I mean, in a perfect world, yeah.
Okay.
Because it should be a two-way street.
Now, what if, because you're not in a relationship, right?
Nah.
What if several women get you something?
I mean.
And how do you decide who to spend Valentine's Day with?
See, now you're going to places that we shouldn't be going.
You look uncomfortable.
Yeah, like for some reason I knew you was going to get me to this place.
You look uncomfortable. All right, but the main thing is that you're not expecting to get anything, but you would like to get something for Valentine's Day. And I think Valentine's Day, I feel like traditionally has been seen as a holiday for women. I know in the Midwest they have Sweetest Day, and that is a particular holiday for women to get something for their guy.
Never heard of it.
Well, yeah, it was started, I think, in Cleveland.
This is New York.
Yeah, this is New York. But it's all over the Midwest. It's in Florida. It's in Arizona. Maybe it's something we need to bring here. Because all these holidays are made up, for real.
They need to put some respect on our name.
All right, but let's see what you guys think. And I'm definitely the type of person, I'll do something for Valentine's Day.
Like what?
Like maybe get a gift or maybe actually do something like make food, dinner, plan a little something special, make it feel special.
Yeah.
But what do you guys do? 1-800-292-5150. Nicole, are you getting your man a gift for Valentine's Day?
Yes, I definitely am going to get him something. I haven't got it yet, though, because I'm at the last minute, like you said.
Girl,
I just recently started getting them set up for Valentine's Day, though, because I was one of the ones that Valentine's Day is for women.
Well, thank you for calling. You're very sweet.
Thank you.
Now get to shopping, all right?
That's the plan.
Okay. Hey, Mel, how are you?
How's everything, Angela Yee? I just wanted to say, I believe in equality.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-fiance and my ex-wife used to send me flowers, and Kenny, we did the same thing for each other. And, like, my homies would be sitting up there like, your girl sent you flowers? I was like, yeah, it's equality.
Did you tell them that you wanted flowers, or they just did it on their own?
They did it on their own.
Good for you, brother.
It meant a lot.
I don't want no flowers, though.
Yeah.
Send me a wallet.
No, I understand. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But, no, it meant something because it meant they went above and beyond where you don't expect it.
Okay.
But it was special.
All right. Well, nice. I'm glad you feel special. You deserve it.
Y'all have a great one. Happy Valentine's Day to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Send him flowers. Hey, Danny. How are you?
I'm all right. How's everything?
Okay, me and Maynard want to know, what do you think about Valentine's Day? Do you have expectations? Should you get a gift?
Not to get a gift. Our gift, I think, is after dinner and after everything is done, a little something at night.
A little nookie.
That's our gift. A little nookie, exactly.
I'm going to get that anyway.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Says who?
Says.
Not if you get a watch or some perfume. I mean, cologne.
You want it all.
I want it all.
You want your cake and to eat it too.
Absolutely.
He'll be eating some cake. All right.
You're right about that.
All right, well, thank you. See?
Thank you. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Hey, Anna, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you, Angela?
I'm good, thank you. And Maynard and I want to know, what do you think you're going to do for your significant other for Valentine's Day? Nothing? Or, are you going to get a gift?
Hi, Mayno.
Hello.
And for me, Valentine's Day is reserved for the women. Men have their own day called Steak and BJ's Day, March 14th.
We never heard of that day.
Oh.
We never heard of that.
Your own day.
What day is that?
It's March 14th.
I don't eat steak, but we can skip to the other
We
thing.
get you some veggie steak.
But I tell you what though, if you was in a relationship with me, you gonna get me a gift, girl. Straight up.
No, she's right though. That's a real day. It's official.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
That's
so
not
you get
promoted.
a steak. Well, it is. I say Google it. It seems like most people, some guys appreciate gifts, but like she said, y'all got your own day, March 14th.
No, I never. That's a made up day. I don't know. That's not verified.
FYI, man, it's all made up.
Like I don't understand.
It's all made up.
Nobody has ever said anything about steak and BJ's.
Well, I bet you March 14th you'll be remembering that. Okay. All right. Well, when we come back, we have Yeetie, and G Herbo says that funny Marco interview was actually staged. We'll tell you what he had to say about it on Drink Champs. Let's see if you believe it.
It's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano is here.
You may know.
On this Valentine's Day.
In the snowstorm, in the blizzard.
In the blizzard. All right, well, let's get into some Yeetie. Now, G Herbo was on Drink Champs, and he talked about the funny Marco interview that they did, him and Southside. People were upset about it because they were being so mean to funny Marco, even breaking his watch. And here's what he had to say about it being kind of staged.
Marco, first and foremost, that's my man. We already had a relationship prior to doing the interview and So originally, Sizzle was supposed to did the interview, and they had it, his production staff told us to, troll him. We wasn't originally just on bull with, bro, you know what I'm saying? But we was a little, off the sauce. We was a little,
right.
You know what I'm saying? With a little extra overboard. But the whole thing was to come on there and, intimidate him on his own show.
So I could see how that could happen, right? They troll him, but things got a little bit out of control, and he admitted that they went a little overboard.
It was off the sauce.
Yeah, it was just too much. And, the interview went very viral, right? And so afterward, it just feels like they tried to say it was staged. Funny Marco doesn't agree with that, but here's what he said.
I spoke to him before it even came out, and you know what I'm saying, we was good. You feel me? I ain't know if it was a confusion between our staff and his production team. It wasn't no bad blood, because he was saying after it came out, no, take it down. We ain't never do that. It was still all up.
All right, so there you have it. So maybe they still cool with each other.
They are.
Yeah, but funny Marco doesn't seem like he is okay with it. I don't know. Just from interviews that he's done, but I don't know. Maybe he's still playing along with it. Or maybe they went too overboard and he did end up getting offended. I don't know. All right. Now let's talk about Malaysia from Basketball Wives. She was previously married to Gennaro Pargo in the NBA, a former NBA player. And she was with Carlos King, and she was talking about filing for divorce and what made her decide she needed to stand up for herself.
Are realizing that oh, wait a minute, this is not acceptable behavior. Your husband is not supposed to go to the club and tell you that the fire marshals locked him in the club and that's why he didn't come home last night.
I'm gonna use that one. Man, it was crazy. Fire marshals came, shut down the whole club. We was locked in there for 14 hours.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I did get locked in the club once. I was in Atlanta, and there was a shooting in the club, and they made everybody stay inside and wouldn't let anybody out for hours.
Right. I've been involved in something like that.
But I think you would know about it.
Yeah.
It's not something you're like, what
It's
club
gonna
was
be
this?
newsworthy.
Do a little bit of research. All right, Shannon Sharp and Mike Epps have agreed that they're going to talk it out over NBA All-Star Weekend because they're going to run into each other regardless. The back and forth they had, stemmed from Mike Epps
said he
joking
don't
on
fight.
stage.
He with that other thing.
All right, well, Shannon Sharp said Unc and Mike Epps have decided to have a man-to-man conversation in Indy at NBA All-Star Weekend to discuss our differences. We both realized the situation should have been handled differently. I apologize to fam, friends, loved ones, and my fans. Club Shay Shay. Now, let me tell you, Mike Epps has something to say about even the name Shay Shay. All right, and Tyler Perry has gotten a first look TV deal with Netflix as they're ordering a Beauty in Black drama series. So he already has this deal with them, and now he has part of the newer arrangement. He's going to be doing a TV deal. So that's his first green light under the deal. He also has that BET deal for TV. And some people in this room right here love Sisters on BET.
Really?
All right.
I wonder who.
Well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day, but I have to warn you, if you're planning to travel or order food, there could be some delays. And we'll tell you why in Under the Radar. It's way up.
Check the news. I got news. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
It's way up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Mano's in the building.
Still here, baby.
Time for these under the radar stories. Now, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and for people who are planning to stay in and perhaps order food, or if you're flying somewhere and you got to go see your bae, all right, there's going to be a strike happening tomorrow. Thousands of drivers for Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash are striking across the United States. They're seeking fair pay, according to drivers groups. They said this yesterday. This strike call is the first since Uber and Lyft went public in 2019. Drivers will be picketing outside the airport and also outside of the Uber offices. So these drivers are considered independent contractors. They say these platforms are taking disproportionately high amounts as commissions. So in 2023, Uber drivers' monthly average gross fell about 17%, while those of Lyft drivers actually increased 2.5%.
Wow.
They've made it a lot harder to add a tip. I noticed also when I'm ordering food, usually you could put a tip like beforehand, but now
it's always after.
Now it's always after. Like I used to always add a tip automatically, but now once the food gets delivered, then you have to like go back in, go to the receipt. I feel like it's a little more difficult to add the tip now. That's just my experience. All right. The number one mistake people make on their resume. Have you ever had a resume, Mano?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, I haven't done
certified too.
So long.
Certified.
That's
resume.
not what I mean. But anyway, the number one resume mistake, according to an ex-Amazon recruiter, is the fact that people give these Miss America answers. These are simple statements that don't give much insight into what you've actually accomplished on your job. One tip that they give you when you're doing your resume is to actually use numbers and metrics. So if you're saying I fix tickets on a help desk, you should say I've solved 30 customers' problems a day. That way they can get a good idea numbers wise. Okay, 30 problems a day, 20 days a month, 12 months per year. That's 7,200 problems that you solved altogether. So the more metrics and the more analytics that you can add to your resume, the more impressive it is instead of giving these Miss America pageant type of answers. Okay? I know you have an excellent resume though, so no worries for you.
Certified resume.
All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. Now, we have the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour. Plus, we have Amy Morin joining us. She is a best-selling author, and she now has a book out, 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. By the way, she also has one of the most popular TED Talks of all time when you look at those numbers. So she's going to be talking to us about fixing what's broken, developing healthier patterns, and growing stronger together. It's Way Up.
Way up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee,
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way up.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano's in the building. And it's time for some Yee Tea. Tiger Woods. He has launched a new apparel company. It's called Sunday Red after splitting from Nike. Now he's posted on social media. It started with the passion of competing against ourselves, the field, the course, life out of that passion. Sunday Red rises. And so excited for that. And that's going to actually be launching in May.
So is it like golf wear?
Yeah, it's just an apparel brand. I'm sure you could use it for other things besides golf, but people know him so well, obviously, and Nike made a lot of money off of him.
Yeah.
With that, but they'll have polo shirts that'll be between $115 and $135, shoes that could cost more than $200, and I'm sure he's going to make a ton of money from this. So shout out to Tiger Woods. Make sure you stream the song from Mano.
Just stop it.
What?
No,
I like that
don't.
song.
No, it's old and it was disrespectful and that's the
got
old man.
women in the birds.
Stop it.
Okay. Now Hulu has revealed premiere dates for 2 new movies, Under the Bridge, or series, and Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told. That's going to be March 21st on Hulu. Yes, I knew you wanted to know. And of course, that's EP'd by Luke Campbell, Jermaine Dupri, and 21 Savage, alongside Mass Appeal and Swirl Films. And so I know y'all can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
All right, so once again, that is March 21st. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre have launched some canned cocktails, Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. Obviously, we know where that comes from.
Right.
Gin and Juice, the song. All right, so they put out a press release yesterday, and it's the first launch from Snoop and Dre's new premium spirits company. They're going to be announcing more products in the near future.
So what is it? Is it cognac, gin and juice? Like, what is it?
It's gin and juice.
Gin and juice.
Yeah, and it's in a can. So they've been doing all these canned cocktails lately. It just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you want to see, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can Google it with the can. All right, now JLo is talking about how she financed her new Prime Video original movie. She said everybody thought that she was crazy. The movie is a cinematic odyssey musical called This Is Me Now, a love story. And she said she was terrified to do this, but this is going to be on Prime Video actually this Friday. And so that's going to go along with her first studio album in a decade. So let's see how that goes. It's always scary to use your own money for something like that. But it's always nice to gamble on yourself, right?
Bet on yourself.
Bet on me. All right. And Kanye West has put out a preview for his new interview with Justin LeBoy that is, quote, coming soon. And here's what it sounds like.
Life is not a solo project. And I believe that being the single richest black man in the world cannot secure your position in order to move people. Right. A king needs an army, and it became an army.
He also talked to TMZ at LAX yesterday after all the Super Bowl stuff and basically says that he can't be canceled. And, you know, TMZ did a whole documentary on whether or not he's cancelable. And I guess there's your answer. And he's clearly not mad about that documentary because he's talking to TMZ at the airport. All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Any question that you have, we are here to help you out. It's Way Up.
I go. Hey, everybody, whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
You should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano is here.
Yep, I'm here.
And it is time for Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Mano is an award-winning advice giver.
I really am, though.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah.
All right, so we have somebody on the line. Hey, who's this?
This is Janelle. Hey, Yee.
Hey, Janelle.
I have a real problem. So, for Valentine's Day, right here, my man has been amazing. He does everything for me. But the problem is I'm just not feeling it anymore. Should I wait until after Valentine's Day or should I wait before? Just so I can save him some money. He has to save all that on me.
Are you sure you don't want to be with him anymore? Because you said he's amazing.
He is, but it's just not there. Like, you know, the butterflies, the spark, it's just not feeling it.
So you want to break up with him on Valentine's Day?
Well, before Valentine's Day or after. It's got to be one or the other.
Then you might as well.
Like, it's going to happen.
You should break up with him today. Then don't let him spend no money and go through all that, and then break up with him after that.
He's probably already spent money.
Yeah,
too.
well, don't give him an opportunity to take it back. So don't do that. Have some dignity for the fella.
Yeah, because the thing you don't want is to wait till after Valentine's Day. And he's going to feel like you waited until after to get your gifts and everything. And then it's really hard to take gifts from somebody who you know likes you, but you don't really like them if you care about them at all. Because I'm sure you care about him as a person. You just don't want to be with him.
That's true. Maybe I should just wait a month so I can get the gifts too.
No, don't be that. You being selfish. Don't do that.
Come on, don't do that to him.
Don't do that. See, that's what happens. Nice guys finish last. That's what always happens.
Don't
Can't
do
be
that
too
to
nice.
him. If you at least want to be friends with him at some point, don't do that. Plus, it's not going to be a good Valentine's Day to spend time with someone you don't even like that.
That's true. I'll tighten up. I'll say something tonight.
Yeah, let him know ahead of time. And, let him know that it was difficult for you also to have to tell him this because you do think he's amazing, but it just doesn't feel like it was meant to be for you, and you don't want him to go out of his way to do these things. And who knows, if he bought you a gift, maybe he's still going to give it to you if that's important to you. But I just think it's important to be honest, especially at a time like this, because you don't want him to hate you.
You must like somebody else, too.
Who said that?
You like somebody else, right?
I mean, kind of.
And the dude you like, I guarantee you, don't even treat you half as nice as that guy. That's just how it is.
You don't know my life, Mano.
I'm telling you how it is. The guy that you like is not even as considerate as the guy that's
you like the challenge of this new guy. So I just think if you're honest with him, he can at least respect that.
That's true. Like I said, I'm gonna do it tonight. You're right, Dee. I need to take the higher road and don't worry about the gifts.
And you sure you don't want him?
Nah, that's clip.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Let him know. The earlier, the better. Rip that Band-Aid off.
Demon.
Will do. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Janelle.
You're a monster.
Stop it. All right. Well, that was Ask Yee, 800-292-5150 in case you couldn't get through. And when we come back, she may want to listen to this. 13 things mentally strong couples don't do. We have the author, over 1 million books sold, one of the most watched TED Talks of all time, Amy Morin, joining us. She's a psychotherapist, and she's here to help you out. It's Way Up.
Turn it up. You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine Brand is here with me today.
Yes, I'm here.
And now we have a best-selling author, and you're also a psychotherapist, mental strength trainer, and award-winning host of Mentally Stronger with therapist Amy Morin podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Amy Morin.
Thank you so much for being here and letting me come to your show.
All right, so you have a new book out, 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Do. Now, you've done a lot of mentally strong, you have like a whole mentally strong series. And so before we even start, what makes you the expert on this? Just so people who are listening understand why you're writing these books.
Well, I started my career as a therapist, and I thought, I'm going to teach all of these skills I learned in college. But it was really when I went through my own journey. My mom died when I was 23, which was just shortly after I'd launched my career as a therapist. And then when I was 26, my husband passed away. And it was really those losses that taught me the most about mental strength. It wasn't just about the stuff I'd learned in college anymore. It really set me on my own journey to say what makes people mentally strong and what are the bad habits I want to give up if I want to be a strong person and come out on the other side.
One thing that you did do was you went viral on social media. Can you talk about that list that you did, the 13 things mentally strong people don't do?
Yeah, my father-in-law had just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. I had gone through that series of losses. I felt like I just spent a whole decade grieving, and now I was faced with the terminal prognosis, and I thought, I can't stand another loss. So I sat down and I wrote myself a letter of what mentally strong people don't do. And initially I thought it was just for me, but I thought, if it's helpful to me, maybe it will help somebody else. I put it on the internet, and 50 million people read the article. One of them was a literary agent who said you should write a book. But at first, nobody knew why I wrote it.
Right now, I'm talking to Amy Morin, the author of 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. Now, Jasmine, you have a question?
Based on the list, what do you think people struggle with the most?
The one people talk about the most is don't give away your power.
Okay.
Which is really about when we blame other people, like, you ruined my day.
It says they don't allow others to control them. They don't give someone else power over them. They don't say things like, my boss makes me feel bad. Because you do have control over your emotions and a choice in how you respond. Okay. Sometimes you can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you respond to other people's actions.
That's it, exactly. And then but sometimes we want to be like, it's their fault that I'm having a bad day, or they're making me feel bad. But taking back your power is about saying, no, I can control these things myself.
Now, Amy, let's get into this book, 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. Privacy. Now, you talk about certain things that couples might agree should be kept private, and then secrets they wouldn't want another to keep. So let's talk about privacy and things that are okay to keep private, but then what do the secrets that you keep tell you about your relationship?
Well, there is a difference between secrecy and privacy. And that's tough sometimes to figure out. Is that okay to not mention this? But the damaging secrets are when we do things like, I'm not going to tell you how much I spent on this because you'd be mad. Or I'm not going to tell you where I was this morning because you'll make a big deal out of it. And those are the things that damage the relationship. But privacy might be something like, I'm not going to let you look at my social media. I'm not going to give you my password. Or if my friend calls me with an emergency and says she needs to talk, I don't necessarily need to share that with my partner because that's something that's private.
Her private.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you all went through something where he cheated and then you're like, I need your passwords. What do you do in a situation like that? Because now that's something that normally you should be able to have as privacy, but because you're trying to rebuild trust, is that an indication that this relationship may not be strong?
In some instances, that makes sense to say, all right, if you broke trust, then we're not going to keep those things private. So in our therapy office, we'll do that sometimes where somebody will say, okay, I'm going to let you look at my DMs. I'm going to let you check out my passwords so that you feel better. You know that when I say I'm going to be somewhere that you can trust me. And if you have to check up on me for a little while until we rebuild that trust, go for it.
Right now, Amy Morin is here talking to me and Jasmine Branch. She is a licensed psychotherapist and clinical social worker, but she's also an author. 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do. She went viral when she put that list out, and now she's a best-selling author. We have more with her when we come back. It's Way Up.
Babbing Way Up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here with me, and we are talking to a psychotherapist turned, quote, accidental author, Amy Morin. Now, here's something also that I think is important. Practice asking for help and accepting it. All right? Because I'm never good at asking for help, but sometimes we don't ask for help, but we get mad when somebody doesn't help us. And it's also how you ask, too. So can we talk about that when it comes to relationships and not being like, you never do this or do this for me, or
will you at least do this for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the way we word it. Or we don't ask for help, but we expect our partners to know. So you start slamming stuff around in the kitchen and you're like, oh, if only they'd recognize that I'm doing all the work out here.
You see me slamming this.
Right. Or we could make a complaint like, I have so much to do, instead of saying, could you please help me with this? So I think it's really important to look at how we express our concerns, whether we are asking for help, and then if somebody offers us help, to accept it, because sometimes we're like, you don't do it right, so I just will do it myself.
One thing I do that you talk about in this book is I'll be very quiet. Instead of addressing an issue, I just won't talk at all. And that's something that I know can be really frustrating for another person. Because my thing is, I don't want to argue, so I'd rather just not say anything.
I use the silent treatment when I'm angry. Yeah. That's on page 105.
You put that up for me.
Yes. And that's a pretty common thing where somebody will say, I'd rather just not talk about it. Although if we talked about it, maybe we could work through it. But on the other hand, it might get worse.
So uncomfortable when you talk about it, though.
And bringing things up. But when we don't work through the conflict, it usually grows bigger. The problem gets repeated again. And it's harder to solve those things if we don't sit and talk about it.
Yeah, I just can't talk about it right away.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes it's about giving yourself that space till your emotions come down.
Yeah, because I never want to say something like in the heat of an argument that I can't take back.
And that's wise advice, is to say when you're really heated, don't do it in that moment. But what sometimes happens is with couples is somebody will say, I walked away because I was upset, and the other person chased me because they felt abandoned, or they felt like we have to rehash this right now. And then they end up in a blow up. But if you have that agreement of, I'm too upset to talk about it, but I will talk about it later, that makes things go a lot smoother usually.
Right now I'm talking to Amy Morin, the author of 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. You also did a TED Talk that's like one of the most watched TED Talks ever. When you did this list of the 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. You did this TED Talk. How many views did it get?
23 million.
23 million views. Make sure you watch this TED Talk too. But I know you couldn't have anticipated this happening. What do you think is the reason that people are so drawn to this conversation?
Nobody taught us about mental strength. People are really interested in learning, well, how do you become mentally stronger? These little skills can make a huge difference, but nobody knows. They don't teach us in school. Our parents didn't teach us. So I think people really want to know, like, how can I have a healthier mindset? What would help me have healthier relationships? How do I deal with sad feelings? So I believe right now the world is just ready to hear that message, and people want to know, how do I dive into this? Because it makes the rest of your life better when you're mentally stronger.
And I'm sure COVID also affected a lot of that too. We've seen a lot of things changing, and for you as a therapist, have you seen a lot of people coming in with different types of issues than you've seen before?
Yeah, and I think it really opened the door to people realizing that we're all just a few things away from having a mental health issue. And if anything good came out of COVID, it's that idea that take away a few of our favorite coping skills, like you can't go to the gym, you can't see your family as often, and so many more people were like, yeah, I'm struggling with depression and anxiety too. And I think that really helped people realize that, yeah, there's skills and strategies and things we can do to manage our mental health, and we should be doing that proactively.
Well, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you for taking the time for us. Again, it's 13 things mentally strong couples don't do. And there's definitely some quizzes in here. This, I think, is something great that you could sit down with your significant other with. And
like
actually,
a workbook, right?
Yeah, and there's certain things that you guys can talk about. Maybe it's hard for you to address. This book can address it for you.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Where can people find you also, Amy, just so we know?
My website is Amy Morin, LCSW, as in licensed clinical social worker.com, and you can find my TED Talk and information about my books and my podcast, Mentally Stronger, with therapist Amy Morin.
All right, if you guys want to hear more with Amy Morin, you can go to my YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. And when we come back, you guys have the last word. It's Way Up.
Pick up the phone. Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard. What the word is. Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Mano's in the building.
Always here for you, baby.
All right. Well, let's see about that tomorrow on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day, whatever day is all the day of love. It's always love.
That's true. Every day is Valentine's Day.
Right.
I wonder what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be posting pictures?
I'm not saying I don't do none of those things.
You're going to have a photographer.
I don't do none of those things, and I don't know why you playing with me right now on this radio.
You know what?
Why is you playing with me?
Do you get your daughter something for Valentine's
Absolutely.
Day? I used to love that. That was one thing every year I look forward to when I was growing up. I'm going to be honest though. On this radio, my dad would always get me something the day after when it was half price. So it would be like
that's a good father.
Yeah.
Right?
Typical.
Shows you that it didn't always matter about the day.
Well, we also appreciate everybody for calling in today and weighing in on whether or not men should get gifts for Valentine's Day.
Give me my gift. Stop
I cannot wait to talk to you to see what kind of gifts you got.
I don't know, man.
And thank you to Amy Morin for joining us. 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. You can watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. And of course, you guys, be safe. We cannot wait to hear from y'all tomorrow. And we know it's last minute, but you still have time to make it right for tomorrow. All right? Here's the last word.
Hey, Angela Yee. I'm calling about the Valentine's Day situation. A lot of these different states don't have Sweetest Day. I think all men should get their flowers while they're here, too. Just like women want their flowers every day. It's only one day a year. We should get our flowers, too.
Hey, Angela. My name is Miko, and I wanted to shine a light on my niece, Samaya Galloway, from Chicago, Illinois. She goes to Simeon High School, and she's the #1 freshman. Yes, with a 5.0 GPA. She's making her family proud. Thank you, and you all have a great day.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.